Hello everybody. I've thought long and hard about making this video. What this country has experienced in the beginning of October in Las Vegas left a lot of people emotionally scarred, a lot of questions unanswered, and an overall general sadness, disbelief, all the emotions that can be wrapped up with this sort of horrible event. This video is not monetized. I just want to come out and say that I cannot take advantage of the people who died, those who lost members of their families, those who are still suffering. This video is about my reaction to the horrible massacre which took place that night. Our collective anger and our healing process, which will follow in the coming weeks, months, and years even. I would like to make a few points in what follows in my video here. The official report, number one, the official report. Number two, the fire alarm. Number three, what is being called the fourth floor versus the 32nd floor. Although I don't believe the videos showing flashes and shooting coming out of the fourth floor, people calling it fourth floor level, I believe is a little bit higher than that. The fourth floor, we can probably not see it. It's still probably part of the casino. Some people called it the 10th floor. So let's just generically call it the lower level floor, okay, versus the high level floor, the 32nd floor, as the official report. Number four, contradicting reports. This is the official reports coming from the sheriff, coming from official sources, media, and so forth. Number five, the suicide itself. Number six, planned evidence, what I believe it is. And number seven, depression. The number one, the official report, as I see it, lacks a lot of evidence, in the sense that it does not present to us, at least, all the facts, all the pictures, all the videos. There's a lot of stuff missing. Okay, and I truly believe this is our generation's JFK moment in history here. It's the look here, not there type of thing. It's like a magic show. You know, look at my left hand while I'm picking something out of the pocket with my right hand. There are some leaked photos about the shooter's room, but nothing else. No video inside a hotel, casino, lobby, parking lot, hallways, nothing like that. We cannot see this guy going in or out, going to the car and back, carrying backpacks. Nothing at all. And the witness reports just do not add up to the official report. Okay, it's not a conspiracy theory. If there is just lack of evidence, and those conspiracy theories cannot be put to rest, essentially. Okay, I'm sure in 3 months from now we will get some sort of doctored up video showing him inside the hotel somewhere, walking in a blurry CGI image, with probably lots of smoke and everything else, but it'll be just too late. How many trips did this guy, Paddock, make to the car and back from the hotel room, right? No video of him whatsoever, at least shown to us, to the public. Maybe there is some, but again, it was not made public. This 64-year-old guy carrying so much ammunition, we were told thousands of rounds of ammunition and weapons as well, 30 or whatever the number was, more than 23, it really doesn't matter. Where are the golf bags? Where are the backpacks? Where are the suitcases? Again, we don't have there. Maybe there is something, we just don't know it. We just don't have it. Did anybody else think about planting, that sort of evidence in his room, or is this just a trivial and fact and it's just not we don't need to know it? Now, the reported fire alarm in the hotel room. Okay, so I've worked in many places which have fire drills done every year, multiple times a year. Schools do it too. They have the kids, go through a certain procedure. Just a couple of weeks ago, my daughter told me she had a fire drill at school too. They had to go under their desks, then they gather outside somewhere. So there's certain procedures put in place. What to do? Somebody calls the fire department. Some people are designated to get the fire extinguishers and so forth. A lot of employees rush to the area of where the fire alarm is with extinguishers in hands, and they try to put it out, supposedly, right? Now, we were told that this hotel room had a smoke detector go off, and therefore somebody had to check it out. Apparently only one security guard went there to check it out. Today's the 10th of October when I'm shooting this video. I just heard today that the timeline has changed regarding the security guard showing up at this guy's room. Supposedly, the security guard showed up, he was shot at, and then 6 minutes after that, the shooting started. Now, this raises more questions again. How did the security guard get there if the smoke detector did not go off because the guy did not shoot or start shooting at that time? So he started shooting after he shot at the security guard. So let's say the security guard called the cops or called his supervisors, called the security for the hotel, go over there, hey, I've been shot at, you guys have to do something about it. And then the cops show up 65 minutes after the shooting stops. So that's plus what, 9 minutes of the actual shooting, 6 minutes before that the security guard got shot. That's around 80 minutes, right? When the cops actually knock the door open and enter this guy's room. Just there's no explanation for that in my mind, and there's no excuse either, unless something was planned to go that way. But again, the smoke detector or the fire alarm, whatever that was, I don't think there was any kind of fire because the sprinklers didn't go off. The floor was not wet. The sprinklers only go off when supposedly there are flames and the temperature goes up, breaks that little glass safety device there, and then the sprinklers just drop buckets of water. Now, was there a phone call placed automatically to the fire department? Was there anything that triggered, the fire alarm? If nobody placed a phone call, why not? If they did, do we have any proof of that? I'm sure the fire department 911, records their calls. Can we have that as evidence? Otherwise, can we just dismiss everything? Again, this was just false information, maybe. But we need, in order to say that, we also need proof that the phone calls were made or not made. My theory is just as good as the official report if we don't have evidence. But we need the evidence to disprove, first of all, disprove my theory, okay? Because this sounds like a conspiracy theory here. But again, it's not a conspiracy theory if there's no proof to say that I'm wrong, essentially. Others have talked about the rifles. I'm not really going to go into that. What type of rifles were used, automatic versus bump stock. I'll have others deal with it. I have my own opinion about it, but anyway. Now there was a lady FBI agent initially, which she dismissed the theory of the bump stock. We keep hearing about the bump stock, and she said no, that was not the case. There was automatic fire, and I tend to believe her in her initial report. I don't know if she walked it back or whatever. A lot of things have changed since then. But I tend to believe that was automatic fire, not simulated by a bump stock. Let's put it that way. And of course, I just don't believe it was the 223 caliber. It just sounded a lot more heavier than that, maybe like a 308. Now, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos in which amateurs are firing these automatic weapons. They're having a really hard time controlling the fire, controlling the weapon as well. The rifle jams, the ammunition runs out. They're having difficulty just seriously controlling the weapons. I'm just not going to name any videos. You search and pick your own, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not just going to give you one or two specifically, and whatever. Do your own research, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, I've also watched some videos in which professionals, what I call professionals anyway, military trained personnel, are far better at controlling their weapon systems and the rate of fire and sustaining that rate of fire. So you'll see the difference there. So I don't know. This guy supposedly didn't have any kind of military training, but he managed to do a lot of damage somehow. Now, the fourth floor or the lower level hotel floors versus the higher level hotel floors. Witnesses reported multiple shooters from multiple locations. The official report says the shooter was on the 32nd floor. Where is the video with that sort of evidence? I've seen a lot of videos. I have not seen all of them. I'm not going to claim that all of them have just been in front of me and dissected everything, every frame and all that stuff. Whatever I've seen, there's no evidence that the shooting happened on the 32nd floor. The muzzle flashes were just not there to indicate the fire came from that area, that corner of the hotel. Now, we have videos showing flashes coming from a lower level on the opposite side of the hotel, on the opposite side of where the 32nd floor was versus a lower level, what people call 4th floor or the 10th floor, doesn't matter, but it was just on the opposite side of the hotel. So we have that. The official report is not saying anything yet about that location of the hotel, and they're not really bringing any kind of proof yet that the shooting happened on the 32nd floor. Contradicting official reports. Okay, my next point. Supposedly Paddock was trying to escape because he had other plans to attack in other places. That's what we're told. But he ended up shooting himself. Okay, so I'm not sure if he had a contingency plan to not be caught. I don't know that. We don't have any indication of it. So anyway, he ended up shooting himself when an unarmed guard showed up. But that's what we were told initially. Today, again, we found out that the timeline has changed and the security guard showed up before the shooting started. So what are we to believe here? He meticulously planned in advance, of course, this whole scenario. This is again what we're told. at least 1 year prior to these events, but overlooked the simple aspect of leaving no trace behind. He booked the hotel room under his name. Um, how would he not be caught by the authorities? Wouldn't the authorities look who booked that hotel room? It just doesn't make any sense. On one hand, we're told that he was brilliant, he was smart, whatever, but he just omitted this little aspect of his cover up. Let's say, covering up his traces there. I have not seen any reports of broken glass. Okay, um, falling that night around 10 o'clock p.m. Right, yet we have two windows with huge holes in them. It's as if somebody pushed a couch through the windows and broke that huge hole through them. Yet nobody said anything about falling glass. I did not hear that. I did not see any videos, did not see any report. Maybe there's some over there. Not that I'm aware of. Of course, if there are some, please correct me. Comment below, and I'll change my opinion on that. So, two big holes. I don't know. During the night of the shooting, when there were people filming essentially with their phones or cameras, whatever they had on hand. Again, so we did not see the flashes from the 32nd floor, and I cannot see any holes in the windows around the area of the 32nd floor, around that corner of the hotel room, where where the room was with this guy. So that night there were no holes. The next morning there were two huge holes in there. I don't know what to make of it. Suicide. One security guard, an unarmed one, comes over and the shooter gets scared. So he shoots himself thinking that the cops are close by. I don't know. This is again part of the contradicting information we were fed. But so he planned to escape. He had explosive in his car. Who knows what the plans were for that? And he had what, 23 or 30 rifles, doesn't matter, high caliber. But he brought with him a revolver, I believe, a 38 caliber revolver, something. I forgot what it was, which allegedly, he used to kill himself with. Not sure why he brought that revolver, or was it planted there? That's kind of my point here. So he planned his escape, but he shot himself. Some people are saying that there might have been a service elevator used by him. He had cameras outside of his room, seeing that nobody was there, so he could have just run. No, he chose to kill himself when there was nobody outside of his room, because the cops showed up 65 minutes later after he stopped shooting. So, was this planned evidence? I have no evidence to say any of that. Okay, it's just a question. You think whatever you want. If he clearly wanted to escape, he wouldn't have the room, actually just kill himself inside the room there. Just, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Planned evidence. This is one of my other points here. We were told that there was no recorded video of his security cameras. I believe that. Okay. Maybe they were just used as monitors, not necessarily to have some action cameras film himself, doing the shooting, more incriminating evidence if he were to be caught alive. Okay, let's go with that official report. But is there any footage of the security guard being shot in the hallway? and what happened afterwards, before the SWAT came over. Um, was there any video showing him entering the hotel room, exiting, putting up the cameras? There was that food cart outside of his room. Any footage at all? We need that. We need to disprove my theory. We need that evidence to disprove this crazy theory, right? Can we make sure that Paddock was alone in the room? Can we make sure that he did not arrive dead in the room? Somebody bringing him over there, planting him over there. Was it even him? How do we know it was him? We were showing just part of his legs in one of those leaked photos. So it could have been anybody. It could have been a mannequin, for whatever it's worth. Can we make sure that nobody shot him? Do we have any video of anybody entering the room or exiting, carrying bodies or whatever? Do we have any videos of the SWAT team, okay, knocking on his door, knocking it open, and so forth? Nothing that I can think of that I've never seen, never heard of. Any missing evidence would just point to a few conclusions. Somebody planned the evidence in that room, the rifles, the revolver, maybe even the body. Okay. Why were there such big holes in the windows? I mean, if you're shooting, you don't really want to disclose your location, right? You don't want to have a huge area and saying, "Look at me, this is the shooter." One small hole would be sufficient, and the rifle barrel can be adjusted, pointed at different locations. I mean, from that far of a distance, just a few degrees of rotation of that barrel will be enough to swipe a pretty large area. Yet he had supposedly huge holes, which I did not see in the video shot that night, around between 10 o'clock and 10:15, let's call it. I did not see any holes in that hotel there. You guys, if you find the videos with that, I'll be happy to watch it, and I'll change my story here. So I don't know why he wanted to advertise where he was, if in fact that happened. Depression. We were told that this guy was depressed. Somebody already made this diagnosis after he died. I don't know how that happened. But depression is anger turned inwards, okay? You're angry at yourself when you're depressed. You're not really angry at other people. That's a different psychotic disease, okay? Lots of people are all depressed. Many of them kill themselves every year. Robin Williams, Kurt Cobain, they did not take anybody else with them. They killed themselves. So many other people being depressed, they killed themselves, but they did not kill anybody else in the process when they sign out of this world. So again, I think this needs to be rolled out. They're just trying hard to throw all kinds of information at us to convince us that this is the picture perfect here storyline and everything else, and to me it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't add up. So guys, if you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know if I'm making mistakes, if you can poke any holes in my story here, but I would gladly correct myself. I will gladly accept new theories, but I need to see evidence. I cannot just ingest everything without being shown some sort of hardcore evidence, videos preferably, security cameras from the hotel. Otherwise, again, My theory is just as good as anybody else's theory, just as good as the official report, which I just cannot really digest 100%. And I'm not satisfied with it, but it is what it is. So again, I'm really sorry this event happened. I believe it was planned. Can't say by whom. It's just too early in the process. I mean, everybody says follow the money. I'm sure there are a lot of videos out there who, people who have done their own homework and figured a whole lot more stuff out than I did. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe.